intrigued to hear about that.
Hi, Amanda. I'm Mose.
Hi.
How are you?
Mo.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Or,
Mose.
or you can call me Moses. Some people do.
Okay.
All right. Well, I decided to come out here and spend a little time this morning talking with you guys and kind of tell you a little bit about where I came from, get a little idea of how you live your life out here, and maybe give you a few ideas. I was born and raised Amish. I think I forgot your name, but Josh. Josh could probably do my introduction better than I could. He seemed to know me when I walked in here. But I'm going to go over a few things with you, and I'm not here to make enemies, but just to do some suggestions of what you guys could possibly do. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is maybe simplify things up just a little bit. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the Amish did things where I came from and why did it long out. If you don't mind, can I take a look at that? Your inner self instead of just always be paying attention to the technology. If at any point throughout this you have questions about that, ask me. I'll go into that a little more in depth, or at the end we can also answer some questions for you as well. So if I understand correctly, you guys had a little thing here a while back where the ladies were in charge for a week, right? Well, I don't know how much any of you know about the Amish, but where I came from, the roles are completely reversed. And before you start booing, yes, in the Amish communities, the men are clearly the head of the house, and they are the ones that run the farm. The women do the household things. They do the cooking, the sewing, knitting, of course, raise the children. And so we're going to play that role for one day. If you could participate, great. If not, don't hunt me down. But also, and I don't know what your current methods are of doing things here, but in the Amish community, the women do all the laundry washing, not just their own personal laundry, but everybody else's.
So happy I haven't done laundry
yet. I haven't seen your setup. I don't know how that's going to work and how you ladies can work that out among each other, but is do a day of living like the Amish people lived it. And since I grew up that way, I felt like it would be easy for me to come in and kind of go over that with you. The third thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the work ethic. I'm not from California. I'm from back out in the Midwestern states, where we get pretty serious winters. Do you guys get winters out here at all? No. No winters? Yesterday you had a bunch of rain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For how long?
A little over 2 months.
65 days. 65 days? You got a little...
Today's day 66.
Okay, nice. And it's probably been getting colder, right? Okay. So where I came from about this time of the year is when you started getting ready for winter. Started storing things. I noticed you guys had a garden going out here. I don't know how close that is to harvesting. Is it even remotely close? Is it doing well at all? Not really. Okay. So I brought you guys something today. I understood the men have been wanting to possibly make some beds, if I remember correctly, or everybody has really. The role for making beds is something that the men are doing. Yay, that's the good news.
Yes.
The bad news, no power tools.
All right.
I brought you hand saws, hammers and nails. Now before you laugh too loud.
Hold on, ladies, I wouldn't laugh just yet. I feel like there's something in there.
We have to do laundry.
I gotta do laundry.
Yeah.
I think that
Women, get out of this.
On bed.
I got a full load of underwear. In case you ladies forgot, we built pretty much everything here without the power tools.
Yes. So yeah. So the men will be building beds today, getting ready for winter in that regard. The women will be doing laundry, cooking, preparing a big meal for this evening.
What
for
about the
everybody.
homosexuals if they don't want to do either?
Where does James fall in place?
Well, I'll bet you could be the guy in charge, standing
no.
behind the scenes.
No, no, no.
Drive the nail here, drive it
I'll
here.
go with the women if you don't mind.
The women will adopt James.
Okay.
So you have to be Fifi.
Not
the
a
women.
problem. Not a problem.
And then one thing that we're going to do that you probably have not done before, we can give this a try. You tell me whether it worked, because I will probably swing by here again tomorrow and kind of see how your day went today. So you can kind of make mental notes and get in touch with me tomorrow and say, yes, it worked, no, it didn't work, we should have tried this, whatever. Tonight, after the ladies have cooked a really nice dinner for the men, and the men are coming in with blisters on their hands from the fields, after dinner, we will have a little powwow. If there's been any unresolved issues, traditionally where I came from, who are the two oldest people in the group here?
I'm 47.
37?
I'm 45.
47, 45. Is anybody older than that?
So it's you and me, James.
Honey, I knew I was
So
20.
James, and I forgot, what's your name again?
Bella.
Bella.
Bella. Bella and James are the two oldest people. Okay, I know nothing about you, so this is going to work well for me. In where I came from, if there was unresolved issues, you went to the elders in the community, and they resolved them for you.
Oh, dear God.
James, you asked for responsibility, okay?
Reverse roles. Maybe the
All I
younger.
can say is, y'all get along.
James, you asked for responsibility. There's
Oh,
your...
my goodness.
So I've heard there's been, between several of you, and I'm not naming any names, there's been some issues about prayer before meals. That would be a great time to bring that up and try to get it resolved by the elders of the community. Look on James's
They
face.
gonna run me out of town on fire.
Not a far run, James.
And again, this is just for one day. If you guys try this and you like it, maybe you can keep going with some of these traditions. It's up to you. But I do think sometimes taking a step back in life and doing it a little bit more simple fashion can be a good thing. Yes?
The group come to elders and give their input as a group, and then the elders make the final decision, or do people just come to the elders? How does it work?
Well, tell me a little bit about how you kind of get a plate and go to different places.
We all sit around one room table.
Y'all
No sex?
Coffee.
Bye-bye
Starbucks.
to that coffee, Kristen.
Drink it up, honey. It's okay. It's not. Who said it's going to eat today anyway? Does chocolate count as a buy?
It
Yes.
depends how much of it you eat.
Okay, not much.
It's just for one day.
Whatever's
So,
left on the floor.
yeah. Or maybe you're a secret chocolate eater or something, who knows. But
She is.
yes, you named just about all the things that I'm talking about. Anything that can be addictive. So for one day, I would ask no alcohol, no tobacco products whatsoever. And yes, no sexual activity of any kind. Solo or not
Heck, she
solo.
just got hammered.
This could be an issue for some of you. I heard through the grapevines, not naming any names, that there may or may not have been some people slipping to the hayloft and behind hay bales. And
That's bad.
Calling me out all the time.
you're calling yourself out. I didn't know. Now I know.
Shot after shot after shot.
So yeah, try that for one day and just kind of see how it works for you. Yes.
Does cuddling count as sexual activity?
Does what count?
Cuddling or hugs?
You said, what's that?
Is it addictive?
It's
For her.
Nikki.
For her. Yeah. What about yoga?
There it is.
Move away from the floor.
Just try it, Nikki.
What if
One
you
day
do
without
yoga
going.
every single day, twice a day?
What's that?
Yoga? If you do yoga twice a day,
Once a day.
every day?
I don't think yoga can be very harmful. Actually, yoga is probably encouraged.
Recommended.
Yeah.
It's recommended.
Dang.
Boom.
It allows you to do that self-reflecting.
Yes. Thank you.
Although I never did yoga where I came from, but
Mose, my best ideas come from behind that log.
Hence why she has none.
Aw.
nice, nice. Do you guys have any questions about this before we rock this day out?
Coffee is. Do you drink coffee in your community?
No
No, no
caffeine?
coffee. Okay. What about green
So
tea?
not even like tea?
Green tea can be healthy.
Okay.
It's not necessarily addictive.
But no coffee.
Yes,
Are the elders in your community you go to men and women, or is it only the men in the Amish?
only men.
That's what I thought.
When
So,
you
but
have-
here we're breaking that rule a little bit.
Yes, I am no longer Amish. I used to be Amish.
Oh
but
yeah, I'm asking about your past. You
Yeah,
said we're here
yes.
to try those out. I'm just curious.
In an Amish community, men don't choose to become preachers. They get elected basically, like they draw by lot, and the community votes on who they think can be the best preacher, and then there's like 5 or 6 in the lot, and the person that's drawn out of the bunch randomly becomes a preacher. Women are not even eligible.
Okay.
You want to design preachers?
No,
Well,
the,
not preachers, the elders for the.
elders for decision making is what it was.
No, we're going to go with the two oldest today. It's just for one day. We can, we can probably pull that off for one day. And like I said, I'll come back here tomorrow and visit with you, maybe even hang out a little bit, find out how you guys seem like a really good group. I'm really glad that you didn't attack me and start throwing rocks when I went over some of the things. I was a little afraid about that. It's been good so far. So
We'll try to about anything here.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. We got the time.
Yes.
Mose,
Bro, you're getting me out of
Yes.
dishes.
what if an issue is with an elder?
What if there's an issue with an elder?
Yeah.
For one day, we're going to exclude the 2 elders from those issues, just for one day. Now, if once this 24-hour period is passed, and you guys decide, as I heard some murmurs over here about mentally being the oldest, if you assign people that are mentally, older or whatever, then you guys can choose. You can choose. You can maybe even do what I was talking about with the Amish preachers. You vote among each other who are the 5 most qualified people to be elders, and then you draw out of those 5 2 people, and they can be your assigned elders. You can go to those. I'm not going to give you very many tips on how to select them, but obviously it would seem like the people with the most common sense would be pretty qualified. But
There's not a lot of that in here.
yeah, I was going to say that's the reason I'm not in this group. So.
We came here.
Yeah.